Hi Jeep Jamboree e-newsletter subscribers, this is Pierce Umlauf at Jeep Jamboree headquarters. I'm sitting here with founder of Jeep Jamboree USA and godfather of modern day four-wheeling, Mark Smith. We're here to tell you about the top 5 mistakes people make when they go off-roading. It's probably, if we could kind of fix these 5 mistakes people make, this community would be so much better off if they listened to what Mark has to say, particularly with his years of knowledge that he's been off-roading around the world. So Mark and I were talking, we've talked to coordinators around the country, we've talked to experts in the field, and we feel these are the top 5 mistakes people make when they go off-roading. So Mark, start with the first list we came up with was number 1 was winter. It's winter right now, and winter travel is one of the worst.
But I think one of the worst is people going off-road in the winter and not telling somebody where they're going. And so many times in El Dorado County, it's already happened here this year, they get stuck in the snow, they have no survival gear, and they didn't tell anybody where they're going. So rescue units are looking for them for 2 days. So when you're going off-road in the winter, have proper survival gear and tell somebody where you are going.
Yeah, and sometimes go out with a buddy as well. You know, sometimes we're up by the Rubicon Trail, it snows a lot up here, 5 and 6 feet in the storm. Right now we're getting a storm, and Tahoe's getting about 3 to 4 feet in the storm. People will go up off-roading, they don't go out with a buddy, they don't have a winch on their vehicle, they get stuck out in the snow, and before you know it, search and rescue's out looking for them. So that's number 1, tell somebody where you're going winter travel. Number 2 was stream crossings are a huge issue. We see it all the time with people. We hear all the stories.
I think one of the biggest things people do, streams are so deceiving, and looking at them, you think it's only 2 feet deep, and it's actually 4 feet deep. So if you're crossing a stream or a river, know the depth before you even try. And if you're in flood conditions, keep the water below your headlights, and you will not get in any trouble. And do not make waves in front of you, because if you make waves, you're going to flood your engine.
That's right, and people should know the bottom of the stream as well. If it's muddy or if it has a hard bottom, that makes a big difference in terms of your success getting across the stream. But we see a lot of people hit the water too fast, and it sucks water into their air intake, into their engine. And I think we've all been there, so we don't want you to do it. Number 3 is a huge concern: tow ropes. People using the wrong tow ropes to pull vehicles out, and a lot of people don't know how dangerous this can be.
They snatch them straps. Never use them with steel hooks on them, because so many times it will break and that hook can become a cannonball. We've had pictures of them where it's gone clear through the back of the Jeep and hit the driver in the back of the head, and people have been killed. There's a proper way to connect tow ropes by using just a 1-inch wooden dowel with the 2 loops, sticking one through the other and putting the dowel in them.
Yeah. Well, that's true, because if you go to an auto parts store, you can find a tow strap with a metal hook in it. And we do have pictures in your driving tip booklet of one that went literally through the back of the window of the CJ, through the driver's seat, and out the windshield. So again, very dangerous. You can just loop them through each other and put a wooden dowel in and hook 2 of them together. You don't need something metal.
They're like a cannonball. They become very deadly.
Yeah. And then you had another concern we always have with people is vehicle winches. A lot of people have them on Jamborees. Winching can be very dangerous if not done properly.
Well, one of the things about winching, people stand too close to the winch, and while you're winching, and they want to feed the line in. Stay away from the winch line. If that cable breaks, it becomes a very deadly snap item. And we had, in one instance, the winch was improperly hooked up to a bumper that the hook had been welded on. It pulled the bumper off, and a little kid on the side got hit by the bumper.
Yeah, so winch lines can snap, so you have to watch out for that. The new ones are made of synthetic rope. If you're buying a winch, you might look for that rope. The other thing that's dangerous is a lot of people will grab that winch line, if it's a cable, and try to use their hand and run their hand along it. And I tell you, if you have a split on that cable line and that cable goes into your hand, it's painful. So wear gloves. But also the new synthetic lines are sometimes more powerful than the cables themselves nowadays, and you can handle them without the glove because they're just a rope. But you still need to put something over that tow line in order to keep it down. In case it snaps, it'll drop it to the ground. So.
And also when you're reeling the line in, hold the hook as you're reeling it in. Don't hold the line.
Yeah.
Because you could pull your hand into the winch, and this has
We've seen that happen before, haven't we?
Yes.
And the last is engaging four-wheel drive. This seems so simple to people, but they don't really recognize what this is all about.
I think it's very obvious. If you see some severe obstacles coming up, you know you're going to need four-wheel drive. Don't wait until you're stuck, because then many times it's difficult to get it into four-wheel drive. So don't be a smart-ass and try and do it in two-wheel drive. If it's obvious you're going to need four-wheel, put it in four-wheel.
So the number 5 tip, don't be a smart-ass, is what we're going with. But no, it's true. You know, if you see a situation where you think you might need it, put it in ahead of time. You'll end up getting through the obstacle most of the time instead of getting stuck in the middle. Sometimes people get stuck halfway through it, and they end up in a much more precarious situation than they should if they had full drive engaged to begin with. So that's it. So there's the top 5 mistakes we hope that you don't make when you're out there on a Jamboree or out by yourself. So see you later, guys.